Hey everybody, welcome back to the Carryandcut YouTube channel. And if you're new here, I really do appreciate you stopping by and watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Also leave a comment down below. It really does help out the channel, and I love reaching out to you guys and talking to you. Also check out our Instagram at Carryandcut and our Patreon if you'd like to help out the channel at Carryandcut. Really do appreciate all the support from the Patreon. All the proceeds go directly back to the channel to buy new knives and new equipment to help make the quality and the content better. So today, I'm kind of switching gears here, and hopefully if you're clicking this video, that means you're going to be getting into sharpening your knives. And of course, knife maintenance is a really big part, at least in my eyes, of knife ownership, and maintaining your edge is a really big deal. I know there's a lot of different kinds of sharpening out there. There's normal benchtop stones, whetstones, diamond plates, CBNs, diamond resin bonded stuff, all sorts of crazy stuff. And I'm just going to focus on some beginner sides here. I have two different sharpening methods, at least two different setups for me that we're going to be talking about today. But the star of the show is going to be this Worksharp Precision Adjust. So this is like the entry-level sharpener that Worksharp, I guess, in their guided system, I guess you could say. They do have a Precision Adjust Elite, I think it is, and that's going to be the one step up. Then there's another step, like the Professional Precision Adjust, and then there's another one even higher than that. But this is pretty much the base model, and this is the one that I have, and I have pretty good success with it. It has its flaws, I guess you could say, but for overall first sharpener, if you're really wanting to get into the hobby, it's definitely a good thing to have. It's these these plates can cut really any variety of steel, especially because they're diamond plates. That's another kind of barrier for entry if you're getting into the higher end steels. You're talking your 15V, you're talking your MagnaCut, even stuff like S30V or K390, stuff like that. It's you're gonna have a harder time sharpening it on just any kind of regular stone. But for the most part, the diamond plates, they are what you want to stick with for the most part, at least in my opinion, for when you're cutting some higher end, really hard steels. So why don't we get right on into it? So like I said, this is the Worksharp Precision Adjust. So this is coming in right at $70. So it's pretty low entry, low price, I guess you could say. Not the barrier for entry isn't too high in something like this. I know you can get into like your TS Profs and your KMEs and all that kind of stuff, and those are hundreds and hundreds of dollars. And if you're like me, and back when I was just getting into it, this is what I jumped on. Of course, I had a Lansky guided system at first, and it was kind of rickety. What really wasn't the best thing for me. Then my wife actually bought this for me. I had a freehand stone here in the meantime until I actually got this one. So we'll talk about this one in a little bit. But this is the third sharpening system I got, and I immediately fell in love with it. So let's just go ahead and go on over it here. This is a really cool, so it's a guided system, so it's a fixed angle, I guess you could say. You dial up your angle right here, so it goes from 30 degrees. We can go ahead and dial this all the way up here and see if we can kind of tip it back and see. So we have little increments, and it tells you these are your fives, these are your singles, so from 30 all the way down to 25, 20, 15, and so forth. And you can take it down a little bit less than 15, but then you're kind of in unmarked territory, I guess you could say. You don't really know what you're sharpening at that point past 15. But it is very nice. Of course, you can match the preset angle that your knife already comes with. A lot of the factory edges I find between 17 to 22 degrees, maybe even lower than that. Some Spydercos that I've had have been around the 15 degree range on the edges. But this comes, of course, this is just the standard three-sided kind of like triangular dude that it comes with. So these are going to be diamond plates, and these are actually replaceable too, so that's a really cool thing. I'm definitely going to be needing replacing this 320 here before too long. But you get really two grits and a ceramic. So you have a 320 grit diamond plate right here, and then you can work these in progression. So you start you start on the one side of the knife, you do your 320, form a nice burr on the one side all the way across the length of the blade, and then you can flip the blade over. So I'll show you that. I'll put it up in here. So then you're going to switch over to your 600, repeat the process, get a burr, go to the other side. You're going to do a little bit more sharpening till you feel the burr on the other side, and then you can switch over to the ceramic. And of course, not everybody likes the ceramic side, but I think it just really minimizes your scratch pattern, I guess you could say, and it really does give you a nice pretty edge too. So not everybody is into the real shiny edges like that, but In my personal preference, I'm a big fan of 600 grit edges on my knives. That's a really good working edge. And of course, it's not going to be a mirror polish or anything like that, but it's going to work really well for most people. So this comes with a really nice, intuitive clamping system. At least at the time, it was a, really cool thing. So this actually pops right out of the holder right here. So it comes with this pretty nice base, but they say there is definitely some stuff to improve upon. And there's a lot of aftermarket parts you can get for this whole setup here. But we do have an adjustable clamp right here, and it is magnetized into the actual holder itself. There's a little button here on the back side of this thing. You push this button in like so, and it actually releases this mechanism so you can turn the actual holder of the knife. So if you're thinking about it like this, let's just take this Kershaw Leak for example right here. This is a really easy knife to sharpen. One thing that I like to do is I like to center up the actual cutting edge of the knife, try to get it somewhat in the middle of the base. So let's go ahead and put this thing right into here. I like to put a fair bit of pressure on here. Some people like to put tape over the blade if you want to protect your finish or anything like that. That is definitely an option. So let's go ahead and wrench this thing on down. So now this is where I like to start at. I like to start with a white little mark top dead center onto the knife. So you go ahead, you're sharpening, and then you push your little button in the back, and then of course now you can see this flips right over the other side, and now you're perfectly working. We're going to be at the same angle right there, and then all this does, there's a little magnetic holder in this actual adjuster here. So you slide that right into the rod holder, something like that. This does have really nice stops in here on the actual rod itself, so that's going to be pretty nice. Your actual stone holder, I guess you want to call it, isn't going to be coming off all the way out at you. So if I do, I'll give you one tip though. If you are going to be investing into this sharpener and it's something that you want to get into, the best thing I can tell you is always mark your edges with a Sharpie. So right here we have our bevel, edge bevel. We're going to go ahead and use a Sharpie, and we're going to mark the whole entire edge. This is just so we can find our angle of the knife, or what our actual edge bevel is right now. So I like to go ahead and mark both sides. This is D2 steel, so it's not the hardest stuff in the world, but I'm not going to do a full-on sharpening, but I'm just going to show you a little demonstration of what we have going on here. So right there, I'm going to guess, let's just start at 17. It seems like I like to have 17 degree edges on my knife, angles, 17 degrees per side. So we're over at the 320 grit side, and we're just going to go ahead and do a little bit of just one little single pass on there and see if it takes any of that Sharpie off. And I feel like it did. It took some off right here at the middle. I did some freehand sharpening this blade, so my edges are kind of all over the place right there. And you're just going to run the length of the knife. Of course, there's all sorts of different styles that you can do. You can do, like an up and down, like a sawing motion. Some people like to go from the tip to the back of the knife towards the heel. Other people like to go from the heel up. And I think there might be some science behind it on what the best way of it is. I know Worksharp has their own little videos and systems of how you should be using it. But especially when you're in this lower grit and you're just really trying to get that edge, worked in right, I don't think it really matters all that much. Maybe I'm wrong, but I seem to have really good results with it. I've sharpened every single knife that I own now on this system, and they all get, extremely, extremely sharp edges. I just put a new edge on this K390. This is a subscriber knife, so I just did a sharpening on this one last night with this system right here. So we've got 15, I think we have 16 degrees per side, and then we stropped with a 1.5 micron diamond compound strop. So let's go ahead, and this edge is super sharp. And of course, K390 takes a really good edge, but it's not even the steel. This sharpener is just a really good bang for your buck. You really can't go wrong with it for the initial investment of only $70. And of course, I forgot to mention, these stones are actually replaceable too. So you can just pop these right out of the holder. I'm pretty sure they stick right back on. There's like a sticky adhesive on the backside. So, and they're really cheap too, like under $20, I think, per actual stone. So not too bad. And also the Precision Adjust, the Elite, it comes with actually 3 of these holders. So there's 3 different grits. I think one side is an all ceramic and has a strop on the one side, and then you just have a lot more range of your actual stone. So I think you get a lower stone, like a 230, a 320, 600. I think there's an 800 and also 1,000. So you're really getting up there into the higher grits. that's going to let you achieve more of that mirror polish or just more of a refined edge. So with that being said, I really do love this sharpener, but like I say, there is some flaws to it, and I almost forgot about those. So when you are using this sharpener, if there's a lot of play, I want to say play, but there's a lot of movement in this actual, not the base itself, but where the knife attaches to the mount. So you push your finger on it and the whole entire knife comes down. And of course, that's not the greatest thing in the world when you're trying to maintain a consistent angle on your knife. So consistency is everything with knife sharpening. The better you can keep your edges, you know, what am I trying to say here? Not appropriate, but better aligned, maybe is the word I want to say. The closer you can get to both sides being consistent. Consistency is everything on it. So if you can keep your edge bevels at the same 15 degrees on both sides, you're going to have a really awesome, great performing edge. But once you start getting variances like up and down pressures and stuff like that, that's when stuff kind of gets thrown out the window. But there is aftermarket options that you can get for this. There's like little 3D printed stuff that actually threads up into the base of this and keeps it so that the pressure isn't so much and gives it like some kind of a mount or even a brace, I guess you could say. There's different kind of stone holders you can get. You can put a 6-inch by 1-inch wide stones like Gritomatic or Veneve, stuff like that. Diamond resin bonded stones. You can get all sorts of cool stuff. But for just the beginner person, I think this is a really good one. I wouldn't, I would start here, that's for sure, and then you can move on to getting a strop like that. I don't think, I think everybody sharpening their knife should have some sort of strop. This is a Sharpal double-sided. We have like a kind of like a rough out, and then we actually have the smooth side. Get you some. Sometimes they come preloaded with compound. I have made my own strop before. This is just a piece of leather. I bought some of that green and white polishing compound off the internet, and I just slap it onto a 2x4. This is what I originally used, and I think anything's better than nothing. I don't think any edge is complete till you strop it, though. That is my personal opinion. And then, of course, you can move into something like an actual freehand sharpening stone. So this is a Sharpal branded sharpening stone. It's a dual-sided 325 grit coarse side and then an extra fine 1200 grit. This is a really nice system for, the bang for your buck. You're getting a lot of performance out of this, but it does skip some, some grit sizes though. So might not be for everybody, but if you're really just getting into it, get you a cheap knife and get you this, and you can practice freehand sharpening, or, get you something like this. And it's just really easy to put an edge, and it's foolproof. Anybody can really do it. So let's just go ahead and run that one more time. So you put your stone holder in, and you just go for it, just like so, till you feel a burr on the other side, back side of the knife. Flip it, and then I like to do a little bit of a burr removal. Come back on it just like that. This is not a how-to video. I'm just demonstrating how to use it. So then, same scenario. You would just dial in your angle until your actual Sharpie comes off the edge, and then you just keep on working from there. Switch to your 600. Then if you want to go to your quart or ceramic, you can. So this is just a quick little video and a review on a really good sharpening system that has a low barrier of entry and easy for a lot of people to get. So if you guys have any questions, please feel free to put down in the comment section below. Really do appreciate it, and hope you guys like this video. Subscribe for more. We had some pretty cool stuff coming down the road. So really do appreciate it. Everybody have a great day. Thanks.